to our channel. So for today's lesson, we have has, have, and had, when, and how to use them. So before we go to our lesson, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, press the bell, like, and share. Once again, this is Teacher Woa. So as we said, when and how do we use has, have, and had in sentences? Here are some points to remember when to use have and has. They are used as main verbs to show possession, and they are used as helping verbs in making the perfect tenses. Had is the past tense of both has and have. As main verbs, no action words are used with them. Has is used for all singular subjects. For singular pronouns like he, she, and it. So we say he has, she has, and it has. Have. Have is used for all plural subjects and for all plural pronouns like we and they. So we say we have, they have. I also used have as verb. So we say I have. And also you, we use have when we have you as subject. So we say you have. Now for had is used for all subjects, singular or plural. This is the past form of both has and have. Here are some examples when we use have and has as a main verb. In present tense, when there is I, you, we, and they, and plural subjects in a sentence, we use have. Examples: I have a new car. You have lots of followers. We have a big surprise for the winner. They have precious gifts to share. The students have new lessons to learn today. So you see, we use have for the subjects I, you, we, and they, and plural subjects. All right. Whereas when there is he, she, it, proper nouns, and title in a sentence, we use has. In all subjects which are singular, we use has. Examples: he has an announcement to make today. 2. She has a very sweet voice. It has many delicate parts. Gray has many toy cars. So in these examples, he, she, it, and proper nouns use has as their main verb. In simple past tense, which is used to describe a completed action, when a sentence has I, you, we, they, he, she, it, proper name and title, all singular and plural subjects, we use had. For examples: 1. I had a bad dream last night. Next, you had an interesting talk in the seminar. Next, they had a pleasant conversation after the argument. Next, he had a terrible experience in that trip. She had a long summer vacation. It had an attractive decoration. For a proper name subject, Sabrina had an enjoyable time with playmates. Next sentence: the guests had an unforgettable evening party. So guys, that's how we use has, have, and had as main verbs in sentences. Now, let's take a look at the verbs has, have, and had as helping verbs. As helping verbs, has, have, and had are used with action words. That is why they're called helping verbs. They are used in making the perfect tenses. Take note of this. Only the verbs in the past participle form are used in the perfect tenses, and verbs in ing form are used in the perfect progressive tenses. Look at the table below. Those words which are shaded in green are the past participle form of verbs which are used in perfect tenses together with the helping verbs has, have, and had. And those which are shaded in light blue, which are in ing form of verbs, are used in perfect progressive tenses together with has, have, and had. These are the verb patterns in perfect tenses. So we just have to follow these patterns in order for us to be guided how to use has, have, and had in perfect tenses. Okay, let's start with the present perfect tense. The present perfect tense has this pattern. Have if the subject is plural plus action word in the past participle. So you say have written. Has if the subject is singular plus action word in the past participle form. Example, has forgotten. The present perfect tense is an action that began in the past and continues into the present. So these are unfinished actions. Example, the manager has presented his project proposal for approval. So the subject here is the manager, which is singular, and the verb is has presented in the present perfect tense. In the next example, it says here that the present perfect tense is an action which has just been completed at the moment of utterance. Sentence example, the workers have just finished the tasks. So the verb here is have finished. Have because the workers is plural. Next, verbs in the present perfect tense are also actions which have been repeated many times. So we say in this example, they have fought for their championship several times. Have fought is the present perfect tense of verb. In the present perfect progressive tense, we have this pattern. Have plus been plus action word in the ing form. For example, have been forgiving. Another one, has plus been plus action word in the ing form. Example, has been begging. The present progressive tense, present perfect progressive tense of verb is an action that has begun in the past and continues into the present. So, example of a sentence here is an action which has been going on for a long time. Like, the dogs have been barking all night. So, the verb here is have been barking because it is an action that has been going on for a long time. Next, it is also a tense which state an action that has been done as at a specific period of time. For example, the family has been living in USA for 20 years now. Another way to express the present perfect progressive tense, this is an action that suggests that the action will finish one day. For example, the little boy has been hoping to see his mom so soon. So the verb here is has been hoping. So he hopes that the action will be finished one day soon. Next is the past perfect tense. So the past perfect tense has this pattern. Had plus action word in the past participle. So for example, had brightened and had driven. So we said that this is an action, event, or condition ended before another past action, event, or condition began. So let us look at the examples below. So you can see here the figure that there are two actions which took place in the past. For example, the party had already started when the special guest arrived. So the party which had already started is the action before another past action, which is when special guest arrived. So in the next sentence, I had prepared the dinner before the visitors came. So had prepared is the past action which happened first, then before the visitors came, which is another past action. The next tense is the past perfect progressive tense. So in this tense of verb, we use this pattern. Had plus been plus action word in the ing form. So for example, had been forgetting and had been freezing. The past perfect progressive tense is a continuing action in the past that began before another past action that began or interrupted the first action, as the figure below shows. Example sentences we have: the toddlers had been running around the schoolyard when the teachers shooed them. So the verb is had been running. The next sentence, we had been planning about repainting the walls until we finally bought the paint. So the verb is had been planning, which is a past progressive tense of verb. Rather, past perfect progressive tense. Next, future perfect tense. So we use this pattern: will plus have plus action word in the past participle. For example, will have remembered, will have forgiven. So, future perfect tense of verb is an action that will be completed sometime in the future before another action takes place. So, as the figure shows, we have two actions in the future. One which will be completed sometime in the future, and another one is another action that takes place. Sentence example number 1. The surgeon will have operated on the patient before she attends a luncheon meeting. So the future perfect tense here is will have operated, and the other action that takes place is attends. Next sentence. The students will have submitted their projects by the time the teacher distributes the report cards. So the future perfect tense of verb that we use here is will have submitted. Next is the future perfect progressive tense. It has this pattern: will plus have plus been plus action word, which is in the ing form. For example, will have been creating, will have been living. This is an action which will be in progress over a period of time that will end in the future. This is a rarely used tense. So look at the figure below. Now, the sentence examples are: the wine will have been fermenting for 3 months. So the verb is will have been fermenting. Another sentence: by the time the meeting is over, the committee will have been arguing about which proposal to approve. So the verb is will have been arguing. So there we go, guys. We finished discussing about how and when to use the verbs has, have, and had. So see you on our next videos. There are more lessons to come on our next videos. Thank you, guys. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share our videos.